everybody, welcome back to the That's That podcast. What's going on? It's your girl back again with another episode. Finally, I know, long time no see. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a good month of August. September 1st tomorrow. Holy crap. School has started. School is in full swing. Basically, for my homies that are in school right now. Hope you guys have a good month of September. I really hope the rest of the year goes good for you. We're in the third quarter of the final year. Holy shit, 2023. Anyways, little dorm tour. Sorry, it's so fucking messy. This episode was very impromptu. And I bet you guys are wondering, where's the podcast studio? Where's the podcast microphone? Listen. I've been trying to go to the podcast studio for the past 2 weeks now, and they've always been telling me, oh, we're not ready, this, it's not finished set up, it's not ready for use, blah, blah, blah. So I haven't been able to record this episode because the podcast studio has been closed, and I don't want to post anything else before I did this episode because I feel like I have some things I want to say regarding just updating my life, updating my podcast and where it's gonna head. And I just felt like I needed to do this and get this off my chest before I posted anything else after this, I guess. I don't know. I just needed to do this update. So that's why I haven't been posting because the podcast studio is not working. But here I am recording on my phone. Hello, what's up? So let's talk about where this podcast is gonna go and kind of what I want to do with it, you know? But before I begin, I do want to mention or talk about some stuff that I got, some feedback I got on my college episode. It's not much, real quick. The first thing is a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people definitely thought that I was dissing on people who go to the gym in groups of people. I am not. I don't care if you go to the gym with a group of people. I know y'all boys be going to the gym together, little bromance. Don't worry, I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't know what happens in the locker rooms. I'm just kidding. But I don't care about people going to the gym in groups of people. People do it all the time. My problem was that in the summer, I noticed a lot of groups of people would go there and they wouldn't work out. They would just socialize and socialize and socialize. And that is what bothers me because you're standing next to a machine, you're not using it, you're socializing. People aren't going up to the machine because they think that it's being in use, you know? So that's what I meant about people going to the gym in groups of people. I'm totally fine with it if you're getting your workout in, period. But if you're just going there to socialize and stuff, people are trying to work out and get their shit done and get out of there. That was my only issue. I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people thought I was shitting on people who go to the gym in groups. Not the case. Second of all, with that episode, on a more positive note, a lot of people were telling me how they feel not sorry for me, but they definitely feel for me and they definitely, are kind of damn girl, I'm so sorry that you're sad. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry you're not making any friends, blah, blah, blah. And I think a lot of people think I'm sad. I think a lot of people thought I was sad after posting that video. It's quite the opposite. I'm totally fine, guys. I am not sad. I love college. I love Tampa. I'm happy to be here. I might have not gotten solid friends yet, but I don't care. I'm not in college to really make full friends. I'm here to progress my career and do something with my life. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to say thank you, though, for all those concerns and all those little wishes. I hope it goes better for you. I just want to say thank you, but I want to say I am not sad. I am totally fine. But thank you to everybody who was concerned, and thank you to everybody who wished me luck and wished me, to make better friends and have a better semester than the past two. Which I will admit, though, this fall semester has been going pretty damn good compared to the last two. I've had some crazy ass nights, super fun though. Hopefully it'll stick like this and hopefully more fun nights to come, But with that being said, let's get into today's episode. Let's talk about the nitty gritty and why we are here and just some updates I want to do regarding this podcast and where it's going to head and what I noticed with it. So first of all, the first thing I want to address with this is that I know at the very beginning of my podcast, the first episode I ever uploaded, I said I did not want to do visuals. I didn't want to show my face. I didn't want to go on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Well, I realized it's quite the opposite now. I actually enjoy talking to the camera. I like looking at myself while I'm talking. It makes me a lot more comfortable with what I have to say because I realized when I would record in the podcast studio where it was audio only, I felt like I needed to try really hard to express the way I felt and, get my message across because I was only using my voice when it came to the communication. And communication is a lot more than just the voice. Hand gestures, the way I look at the camera, the way I look at people when I talk, facial expressions, all that stuff is communication as well. It's just so much more easier for me to just look at the camera and say what I gotta say because I don't have to express so hard through only my voice, But don't worry, I'm not becoming a YouTuber. Maybe we'll get there. But don't worry, if you just like listening to the audio, if you just like listening to this as a podcast, don't worry. It's still gonna be on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. The audio is still going to be there. I just want to say that now on YouTube, I'm going to be showing my face a lot more, and it frankly makes it a lot easier for me to record these episodes and makes it a lot quicker for me to record these episodes too. Not to mention, YouTube is a lot more interactive too. You guys can leave little comments, like the videos, dislike the videos if you don't like it. And I just think that's overall better for me as well because I do not be answering my DMs, y'all. I'm sorry. That's definitely the first update, is that I'm going to be showing my face a lot more on YouTube. So if you guys like watching visuals and you guys enjoy YouTube, because I know a lot of people in my generation, it might be hard to like just listen to an audio for 40 minutes straight. And YouTube, y'all can see me while I'm doing it, but obviously you don't have to. You can stream it everywhere else. But speaking of YouTube, I also realized this, guys. Podcasting is so niche. When I would tell people I had a podcast and they would ask me what it's about, I'd be like, oh, I talk a little bit about everything on there. And they would look at me confused, like, what? And that's when I realized podcasts are actually really niche. If you look online and look at all these podcasts, people stick to one thing the entire time they're talking, or they stick to, like, their podcast only has one theme. That's what I'm trying to say. It only has one theme. Whether it be interviews, music, sports, drama, crime and horror stories, stuff like that. Podcasting is very niche and it usually is just one thing. And I realized I want to do a lot more with just my podcast. I want to talk about a bunch of different stuff on here regarding everything. So when I originally started this podcast, though, a couple months ago, my goal was really to just talk about music and other stuff that happens in my life. So I guess I meant story times. I didn't even know what I meant with that, But I realized that I want to talk about everything on this podcast. That's why, I'm kind of on the edge. Is this even a podcast? Is it? Because I'm doing a lot more visuals now and it's not so niche. So what do I want to talk about on this podcast? A lot of things. I'm going to be talking about music. I'm going to be talking about story times. I'm going to be talking about life in general. Maybe some stuff I've learned throughout my life. Maybe some advice. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll dip our toes into that. But I'm also going to be talking a lot more about social issues going on nowadays. I get it. Social issues. Don't nobody want to hear about that. The reason you guys tune into the internet is to not listen to social issues. But I realized a lot of people my age do not want to answer the hard-hitting questions. They don't want to talk about the hard-hitting stuff that is going on in society and just kind of want to coast through it, kind of ride the wave. And I think a lot of people want to think it'll figure itself out later. That's very concerning coming from somebody who's really young, coming from a young adult, because I realize if we don't talk about a lot of the issues that are happening nowadays, in 5 or 10 years, it's just going to build up and it's going to be more shit for us to deal with when it comes to us, growing up, being in office. When we become the real, adults in the world, I don't want to be picking up such a big mess. I'd rather just fix a lot of the shit now and just, work it out and find the middle ground too. So I will be talking a lot more about social issues on here. Don't worry, this is not going to be, some podcast where I only talk about social issues. I'm going to be talking about everything. But I think this is just a trigger warning to you guys that there is going to be some hard-hitting topics I'm going to talk about that might, I don't know, I don't want to say it's going to make you uncomfortable, but it's going to be uncomfortable situations we got to talk about, But don't worry, I'm still going to be doing story times. I'm still going to be doing funny little episodes. I'm still going to be talking about my music, putting you guys onto some bands that I got into. Holy crap. That's super fun. But I just want to say it's going to be a big mix of everything, and I'm going to be talking about some serious shit on this podcast. another thing I want to talk about, another thing I want to add to this podcast. I want to do a lot more interviews and I want to do a lot more features on my podcast. I want my podcast to be a platform where people can come on here and talk what they got to say and put it onto the internet for everybody to hear. Because there are so many different perspectives in this world and so many people have different thoughts, beliefs, and all that shit. And I just think it's so interesting. Like, I want to meet everybody and talk about all of that stuff. So that's another thing I want to do with this podcast. A lot more interviews, a lot more features. Probably bring some of my friends on here. Probably interview some people here in Tampa. Maybe some bands too. Maybe some local Tampa bands. Who knows? I don't know. But that's definitely another thing I want to bring to this podcast. Bring to the table. Features and interviews. That's going to be fun. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to do this podcast a lot more versatile this time around. You know? And that's why I think I'm quote unquote, I don't want to say I'm switching to YouTube, but switching to YouTube. Because YouTube is very versatile. YouTube is not niche. YouTube, you post whatever the hell you want on there and you go, you know? Speaking of versatility on YouTube, though, that is something else I want to do with this YouTube channel, is just bringing more content onto here, like a more variety of content. Maybe I'll post little bass covers here and there. Maybe I'll post, like, if me and my friends are jamming out, I'll post a video of that. Or, like, vlogging. Is vlogging still a thing, guys? Or am I too, like, back in the day? Like, I don't know. Am I too old school? I don't know. I think vlogging would be so fun, just like showing you guys like my college life and like what I would do here. Maybe I'll do, because I'm thinking about doing like a week vlog kind of thing. So I'll like record myself every day, but I only upload like one video where it's like the full week of my life here. I think that would be fun. I think it would be fun to bring you guys around and kind of show you what I do up here and like what college is like and what USF is like. I think it's fun because I feel like after that last episode about how shitty the people were here, it might sound like I don't have a life here, but I do. I promise you I do fun shit here. I do a lot of stuff here. So, I don't know, I thought that would be another fun thing to do on YouTube, is just bringing different content on there, like more fun stuff, like lighthearted stuff, you know? So that's another thing I wanted to update on, kind of just have a lot of ideas going for me. And speaking of ideas that do not have to do with this channel or YouTube, I actually have a lot going for myself outside of this channel. I guess that's what we're going to call it. So that shit aside, little update on my life and how it's kind of been going so far this semester. It's been pretty damn good. I'm doing a lot. That podcast is one of the major things I'm working on. I also write for my school newspaper now in the sports section. That's really fun, kind of demanding, kind of difficult, but I'm also really new, so I'm kind of like, hopefully like I'll grow, you know, and it won't be as hard. But that's another thing I'm doing. Thinking about getting a job. That's definitely something I should be doing instead of recording this right now. That's another thing. A little update, I got a cat. It's in my hometown though, it's not with me. That's another fun thing. Musically though, I am playing a lot more bass and that's really fun. And I'm hoping in the future, more jam sessions, more shit like that. That's another fun thing I'm working on. Nothing serious though, I ain't gonna be no musician or nothing like that, but music is always fun. Music is always like, music lights up my heart, so that's definitely a positive. Yeah, so far this semester has been really fun though. I've been going out, been having a great time. Football games are happening, so that's gonna be fun. I don't know. That's like a quick little update on my life. It's been pretty good so far. Knock on wood that it does not end up like the last semester though. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Kind of just wanted to update you guys on how I've been doing, where the channel is going to go. And now that I did it, podcast is in full swing. That is in full fucking swing. Got so much shit coming out for you guys. So much shit I already recorded. So much shit I'm going to record. It's going to be fun. And y'all just hope that I can keep my composure and keep my discipline and be good at being an adult. Yeah, I guess that's really it. It's late as fuck. About to go hang out with some friends. Gonna wrap this shit up. Thank you for coming to the That's That podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow my social media down below so you can get more updates and you can see more shit that's going on with me. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. I don't know. Just a lot of things I'm working on. Super excited. But yeah, thanks for tuning into the That's That podcast and I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.